What's going on YouTube? Jamiethekid00's here, back with a video that a few of you guys have been asking me for, but I was really bored, so I figured I'd do myself anyway. I'm here to talk to you guys about my opinions on what should be in the ban list coming up in September, even though it's not really going to matter now because YCS Sheffield is now a seal play format, which was where I was really going to worry about the ban list. And I'm not going to be playing by the ban list, so yay, don't even have to care. But yeah, I'm just going to outline now. This isn't what I think is going to be on the ban list. This is what I think should be. These are my opinions. Nobody else's. This isn't a rumour. Don't go off and say, well, Jamiethekid said this was going to be on the ban list. This is opinion-based. All of it is opinion-based. This is just me talking about what I feel should happen. So I'm just going to start this off with, got 3 piles here, which is cards that I feel should take a hit, cards that I do not want to take a hit, and cards that I want to see come back. So I am going to start talking about them now. The first card, I'm going to start, these have been organised, I'm going to start with Exceeders. First card I want to see actually take a hit is Wind Up Zen Mains. I know a lot of decks don't play more than one, but in the decks that can make more of this and play more than one, this card is absolutely ridiculous, and the very fact that it burns through so many resources to get it off the field, it's just not a good, it's not a friendly card. It is instant pluses for the very fact that you have to burn through so many cards to get a Zen Mains off the field, and often this can be brought out of a 1 card cost. Cards like that, kind of instant plus ones, don't really belong in the game that much, so Zen Mains, I love Zen Mains, but I feel it should go to 1, because decks that can play more of it kind of can abuse it. Where do I put all the done cards? Over there. Next up are the Jamiethekid00's. I'm aware that Dolka really won't see a hit, A, because it's coming out of tin, and B, because it's a TCG exclusive, but I still feel the principle is there. Dolka is ridiculous, it's stupidly overpowered, it should really see a hit. Failing that, I really want to see Lagia get hit. A lot of people are saying to 1, I sadly have to agree. Even though I play Dino Rabbit myself, the deck is completely overpowered, and it really needs to see a hit, at least on the Lagia. So, I mean, I could see myself still playing Rabbit with a Lagia hit. I'd just play Avarice in main all the time after that. But this card is absolutely overpowered because it's an instant +1. This is ridiculous because it can be a +2 in certain situations. And these cards both win games ridiculously easily. And I'm sorry if there's any glare, I can't see the camera, guys, so deal with it. But I feel that these two definitely need to see a hit, but Lagia is the only one that will realistically see a hit. But Dolka, principles-wise, I really feel should take a hit. Next up, continuing with Dino Rabbit, we have Levier the Sea Dragon. Dino Rabbit is one of the few decks that actually plays this in more than 1, and I feel this card should go to 1 because of the very fact that it adds so many pluses. It allows certain decks to loop, like Infernities have a loop with this. I feel it should either go to 1 or be banned outright, simply because of the amount of things this card does for certain decks. It's absolutely ridiculous. And again, plus engines, it just shouldn't exist in the game. Free pluses are bad for this game. I don't have much to say about the Exceeders too much, mainly because I like them, and I don't want to see them banned simply because I have them and I play them, but I feel that the way the game operates, this should not be in the game. So, Levier's a bad card. Moving on to actual effect monsters now. I don't actually own any wind-ups. I'm about to talk about some wind-up stuff, so I'm going to be proxying the wind-ups with these Magnet Warriors that I dug out my binder. Wind-ups have been seizing quite a lot of events across the European circuit and quite a few spots in the US over the past while, and they're just one of the decks that I feel is completely wrong with the format. The wind-up loop and so many other things that the deck does just should not exist in the format. They just, again, things that are bad for the game. So the cards in wind-ups that I would really ideally see hit are kind of number 1, Wind-Up Hunter. I feel that the deck should still have access to the Zen Mighty loop, but without Hunter, it means the Zen Mighty loop is limited to its OTK capacity. And I think that's a far more balanced system because a lot of other decks have loop OTKs, but no other deck has a loop that's so versatile. A loop that can give you an OTK, a loop that can give you a hand drop. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I definitely feel Hunter should go. Failing the Hunter, I feel that Zen Mighty should see a hit. Zen Mighty should at least go to 2, if not to 1. Simply because in its main capacity in wind-up, Zen Mighty is only really used once if it's not for the loop, so I feel that 1 is a good, 1 is a fine number for wind-ups. And otherwise, I feel that Shark should see a hit, but the problem is Shark is a TCG exclusive, so it won't. But my number one priority is that Hunter should easily be hit. On to Insectors. Everyone is crying out for Hornet to be hit. I think that's a stupid idea, because Hornet is kind of hard enough to find in the deck as it is, and even at 1, as long as you hit the Foolish Burial, it's fine. The Hornet is accessed. As long as you can search the Hornet off of a Centipede, the Hornet is accessed, and the deck is still just as powerful as if it was playing 3. The real card in the deck that causes the pain and is a massive plus engine is Insector Dragonfly, and I feel Insector Dragonfly should go to 1 because it's just absolutely ridiculous the amount of loops that this can create. I've looped this after it got chain dissed by making Leviairs. Another reason why Leviair should be hit. I've looped this and popped my opponent's field for I think 6 cards, ending with 3 Xyzes, and the amount of pluses I gained was insane. So again, just another card that is really quite bad for the game. Oh yeah, and I added 3 Zek Caliburs, well not 3, 2 Zek Caliburs and a Gigamantis to my hand in that turn as well. It's just one of the cards that should be gone, because the amount of plays that this breaks open. Dragonfly is stupidly good, and in the OCG this deck is dominant. This deck is the shit. So Dragonfly is such a dirty card. Next up, the one that a lot of people will be calling out for at the moment is the hit of Chaos Dragons. I feel that Red Eyes Darkness Metal should at least go to 1, if not to none, because this card is absolutely broken in the current deck. Simply because it is the card that fuels the Light Pulsar loop, and if this hits the graveyard and a Light Pulsar is on field, it is quite often game for the opponent, which I feel it's just the ability to cycle through such huge monsters with no cost is absolutely insane. When you can stare at an opponent's Dragon Field and know that you can't win with the Dark Hole and Rescue Rabbit in your hand, that's quite a sad moment. But I feel that Darkness Metal should at least go to 1, so it's crowable. But in an ideal world, it should go. But to 1 is a fair move, and if Konami put it to 1, I'd be happy with the deck at 1. Still playable, but not broken. Another card which isn't seen in the meta too much, but I still feel should not be in the game, is Royal Tribute. It's a card that I feel should at least go to 1, simply because it's seen so much, and just opening this wins you the game in most situations for Gravekeepers. Having been tributed a lot of times, it's just not a nice card to see people open with. And the fact that a lot of Gravekeeper decks nowadays just dig for this as fast as they can with dualities and crazy things like that, it's opened so much on the first turn, and it's a card that I feel should either go to 1 or go to none, because it's so overpowered. It's just Gravekeepers aren't overpowered, but this card is overpowered. So I feel that Royal Tribute should take a hit in the next list. Even though it won't, because it's gone list after list after list without seeing a hit. Another card which I feel should go is Pot of Avarice. I'm going to keep this short. Pot of Avarice is essentially Pot of Greed. It is a +1, 1 card that turns into 2 and recycles stuff. It's bad, shouldn't be in the game. Get rid of it. Another card, Future Fusion. I'm not going to explain this. Chaos Dragons. Take it out. Future Fusion is painful choice on crack. Foolish Burial. Same thing, but Dark Worlds use it as well. Setting up Graphers, setting up so many things, setting up Hornets. Foolish Burial is a bad card. Shouldn't be there. Shouldn't be in the game. And finally, Monster Reborn. The ability to turn around a game with 1 card. Monster Reborn's crazy. Either way, that's it for my that's it for my stuff that should see a hit or should be banned. You know, like banned. Sorry, I didn't explain what I wanted those to go to. But I feel they should all be banned because they're cards that break the game and go against a lot of the principles of the game. And they do things that cards in the past have been banned for anyway. I said I had a pile of stuff for cards that I just really hope don't get hit. And I say a pile, it was just 1 card in particular. I really hope the Rescue Rabbit itself doesn't see a hit next ban list. Not because I want to continue playing Dino Rabbits in the September format, but mainly because so many decks use this card, especially in the future of the card game. There are a lot of decks coming up that really can make good use of this card, and I really feel it should not be hit. I really feel it would shut down a lot of decks that could be popular. So I really like Rescue Rabbit. I don't feel it itself is overpowered. I feel the Dino Rabbit deck itself is overpowered. So if Largias and Dolkas saw a hit, I feel this card could stay. I really like it. It's just Tour Guide in a sense. A Tour Guide, but a lot more flimsy. So I really feel that Rabbit should stay. At 3. Anyway, let's move on to the stuff I want to come back. A lot of you are probably going to hate on me for this, but this is my opinions again. I feel that Go Your Guardian, I'm going to start off with a controversial one. I feel that Go Your Guardian should come back, because the Synchro era has been nerfed so horribly. It's not as accessible. And the main reason is because 6s just have lost all of their power. And this card was always really, really cool. I don't think it was broken ever. I mean, sure, the ability to revive and steal something is pretty crazy, but it's just the very fact that Go Your Guardian was more of a card that punished a bad play rather than just sat there being high I'm OP. Like, back in the format of things like Teledad, when your opponent would go, I've got no back row, no protection, I'll just go Stardust. Of course, that'll be invulnerable. And then you just go, yeah, no, Go Your Guardian? Did you forget about this? Did you forget that you need to protect your stuff? Not just sit on a Stardust? You know, it just punished really bad plays that just weren't thought through. So, I don't know how I can really explain it. You have to have played it. Like, I've been going back and actually playing Teledad recently, and I've realised how this card isn't actually broken at all. So, it's a card that you just have to play in this current format to realise how unbroken it is. So, I really feel this should come back, but you guys might feel different. Shien is going to be the next one. This is my actual prediction for the ban list. I feel that Shien should go to 2. I feel that Smoke Signal is fine at 2, so I don't think they need to bump that back up. But I feel that the 6 Samurai deck is still quite crippled with Shien only at 2, so Shien only at 1. Because once that Shien gets used, that's basically the deck lost its OP-ness. It's just... penis. It's not... just Cupcakey laughing in the background there. It's just nowhere near as strong with Shien gone, so I really feel Shien should go to 2. It's not broken at all. From someone who's been playing Samurai, I really feel this card isn't broken, but... I don't know. Shien to 2 next ban list, in my opinion. Another card that I feel should go to 1 is Rescue Cat, simply because Cat is nowhere near, again, is nowhere near as broken as it used to be. This can serve, especially with priority gone, this is the same as Rabbit in the fact that it can just go into 3s, make some cool synchro stuff. It gives a little bit of strength back to Synchro era, but it just gives strength to decks that really lost it. And I really want to see a format with variety rather than a format where it's just one deck topping like Teledad or different things like Airblade when Airblade was around. It just makes sense to me to come back. So again, it's an opinion card. I don't have much in a way to justify it, but another old card that I feel should go to 2 is Gladiator Beast Bestiary. This is a card that looks at bottomless and then its deck is crippled. Gladiator Beast, since Bestiary went to 1, have just lost so much power, and I feel that they're a really incredible deck that requires a lot of skill to play, and it really does bring out the skilled players of the format, and I really feel that it's the fact that Bestiary is at 1 that is letting that deck down at the moment, so Bestiary to 2. Same goes for Mizuki, for the same reason. I really feel that zombies are a really cool deck that's lost a lot of its overpoweredness. It's never going to be the Cards of Safe Return stuff that it used to be, but I feel that in this current format, Mizuki can go to 2, just to give a bit more power back to zombies, because they're nowhere near as broken as the decks they're topping at the moment. Something that I feel was a big mistake from Konami from the get-go on the last ban list, and something I feel that they just did to push product, was banning Spore and banning Glow Up Bulb. These 2 cards gave a lot of power to different decks. The Plant Engine was always really cool, and it always gave a lot of power to decks that just really didn't have that power. It really bolstered a lot of decks. I love engines. I love the Tour Guide engine. It gives so much strength to other things. And I feel that the Plant Engine was similar to the Tour Guide engine in that respect, that it gave power to decks. And to take it away was just... I feel it was just a marketing move by Konami. It was by no means broken. As you will have seen at the end of the format, when Dino Rabbit came out, Plant Synchro was already losing out to it left, right and centre, and it was no longer the broken tournament raping deck that it was when Billy Break played it. So these need to come back. These just to 1. But they need to come back. I really don't agree with Konami hitting them, and I really miss Synchros. So, I feel that this should be a format where Synchros don't have to be hit just to sell Xyzes, because everyone knows Synchros are far better than Xyzes at the moment, in my opinion. But it's just sad that Konami has to nerf all the engines for Synchros just so they can push their product. brings me back to the whole Sheffield thing, that Konami are just trying to push product too much. Sometimes they really do hurt the game. And then just a few more preferences in the form of Destiny Hero Malicious, and to another extent Destiny Draw. I feel that these cards are really can be really awesome for Xyzes, because they're 6s, they can be really quite interesting. And Destiny Draw, I really feel that the Destiny Hero engine was crippled. A lot of my friends really want to play an actual Destiny Hero deck, so I feel that these can go back to 3, because they can be used really interestingly to Synchro. Sorry, to Xyz, and these can go back because Destiny Heroes need more draw power, and the Destiny engine is really quite interesting, and I really like it, and I don't think it's anywhere near as overpowered as it used to be. So these are cards that can come back. Also, seeing as I've been talking about it a lot, stay tuned for a Teledad deck profile soon. I've ordered everything in, I'm just waiting for it to arrive, so you'll see that deck profile in a couple of weeks maybe. Then a card I feel should go to 2 is Book of Moon. It's a player pref. I don't really have an explanation for Book of Moon to 2. All I remember is I really enjoyed Book of Moon being at 3 when it was at 3, so Book of Moon to 2. I don't think it's anywhere near as broken. It just gives strength to certain decks. And then finally, another controversial card to end the video on, Royal Oppression. Again, broken in certain decks, but hey, isn't skill drain, isn't so many other things broken in certain decks. I feel that Royal Oppression really added a lot of control to formats, and added a lot of skill to plays, so I really feel Oppression should come back to 1, just 1, but I can see why people would not want it to. But either way, guys, forgive my tiredness towards the end of that video. I've actually gotten really sleepy while I've been filming this, probably because I'm sat in bed, but that was my opinion on what should change for the ban list coming up. I will probably do other talks later on, coming closer to the ban list, and I'll do news videos on rumours that I believe to be true or should be true. But otherwise, this has been Jamiethekid00's with a kind of ban list chat. Not prediction, but a ban list chat. I hope to see you guys pretty soon with some more content. And I hope to see you guys at YCS Sheffield if Konami decide to get their act together and actually make it constructed format. Otherwise, I will see you when I do with some more content. Peace out, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.